small group of everyday people drawn to the paranormal, connecting, reaching out to the other side, trying to pierce the veil and reveal what we've all been looking for. Never knowing what we'll discover, only hoping the universe will be on our side and guide us in our quest. We are searching for answers. Questions in the world, there seems to be one common question, no matter who you are, and that is what happens when we die. We look to religion and faith to ease our minds, and this is good and makes us feel safe. Religious beliefs and faiths vary so much across the globe, depending on where, when, and what environment you are raised in, usually determines your beliefs. Therefore, with all these variables, is the subject so settled? I'm not so sure. We look to the Bible, and it teaches us of heaven and hell, an either-or proposition. So is it even possible for some souls to be trapped here on earth, walking among us? Do they have a choice? Are they somehow prolonging judgment? Or is it that they're not among us, sharing the same space? And if they are not surrounding us, where does the fear of ghosts and spirits come from? Is it something we're born with? Is it learned behavior? If it is something we're born with, why? Is the fear a defense mechanism to keep the truth hidden, because the truth would somehow spoil the game? If it's a learned behavior, why? Why do we scare ourselves and our children to the point they are even scared to try to talk to their deceased grandparents? People that because of them they exist, which love them so much would have died for them. What is there to be scared about? What you're about to see is a case of constant living fear. Empty, unused rooms. Children too scared to be alone in their own bedroom. This is the story of Lyric and her goddaughter. Lyric is the sister of my oldest daughter's friend, Kane. She and Kane became friends in school and played on the same soccer team as young children. Lyric and Kane tragically lost their father at a young age. They had loving grandparents that were able to help raise them. Kane was never able to make the adjustment and deal with his loss, and took his own life. When someone so young decides they can no longer take the pain, the effect on his loved ones cannot be expressed through words. Please, if you need help, there is always someone who will listen. Always. Under these tragic circumstances, it's no wonder Lyric feels she is surrounded by a presence. As we are introduced to Lyric for the first time, she seems to be a very happy person. She gives us a tour of her home and shares any experiences she has had.
I had the dream of the thing, Kane killing himself. But that's that's
like a recurring dream?
It happens, it wakes me up. The guitar wakes me up at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
No lie. I try telling Ashton that.
Like every night? Or?
Not every night. It's twice a week though.
She continues to give us a tour of her bedroom and master bath. Other than her reoccurring nightmares, she has had no other experiences in this part of the house. But when we open her closet door, the story changes.
I have to a light on, but and then I have a big picture from Kane's TV.
Is that the one?
That's all.
That's the one?
Yeah.
Well, we need to get it out. We will get, yes, absolutely. We need to get that out and lean it up against a wall. Or you want to come in here and get up in here? Oh, she's bringing it out now.
Yeah.
But it was stuck in the mat.
Yeah.
So hard to see up there.
Yeah, it was at the funeral though.
And this is the picture that fell off the wall.
Yeah, multiple times.
And the part that hung on the wall, the nail, it wasn't pulled out of the
No, it
wall.
literally, the way it fell, okay, say this is my hallway, and the mirror is my picture, it literally looked like someone grabbed it and turned and threw it down.
And threw it down.
And it was face up. Yeah.
As we remove this amazing trigger object from the back of her quote-unquote creepy closet, we make plans to use it in our investigation, with hopes we can document her claims of being forcibly removed from her wall and thrown face down onto the floor.
It's just like all kind of pictures that me and Bailey, like, it was like on New Year's, the year that he died, we made for his funeral.
Were these emails?
Those are tweets, yeah, from him.
Oh, that's cool. So you printed them out.
And then, like, that's the outfit I buried him in, because they let me pick out the outfit. And really, it was just all kind of like pictures that we had printed out.
That's cool. Alright, yeah, so we'll get that out and set up this wall. So we can get it to move. After leaving her bedroom, we head to the more active side of the house. We head to the kitchen where she explains how she has been affected.
Like, felt like something was watching me, literally. And I finally got comfortable in the house, and I didn't tell it, like, I'm actually, like, comfortable living alone. Like, it's okay. But there's been multiple times where, like, me being home alone and me pain or something, I'll, like, turn around, because, like, I swear someone's standing there, but then when I turn around, no one's there. I feel like that baby, no lie. My great-grandmother gave it to my little sister a long, long time ago. But that baby, you can ask Bailey too, we get rid of it, and I swear somehow it always comes back. Like, it'll be missing for like 3 months, and then all of a sudden she calls it the ugly baby. But Melanie's room, I feel like, is the scariest. And she won't sleep in here, or come in here by herself. And I haven't been in here really, like, alone, to be honest. No, she, like, will go to sleep by herself in my room, but if I lay her down in here, she won't do it. Whenever it was right here, the first night, she was excited to come sleep in her room. And she laid down for 5 minutes and came running back out there. Yeah.
That corner right
like
there?
Last night, Ashley was sleeping.
That's what I was feeling, something.
When she goes to my mom's house, she has her own room at my mom's house that she just goes in and lays down with no TV on or anything and goes straight to sleep. And she does that at her real mom's house too, so...
Well,
So it's not that.
Yeah, it's not
the actual room.
Yeah, we're here with all her baby dolls in it, and one baby doll is out.
So who's going in the closet tonight with the baby doll?
I feel like Melanie's room, this room stays cool. It's way cooler than my room. The foundation.
It's really cold in
What's
here.
funny is you feel the presence in these areas, or the kids do too. Those are the cold rooms. After the interview was completed, we moved on to setting up our equipment. Amanda decided to see what energy she could pick up on in the room Lyric refuses to use because of the feelings she gets in there. It didn't take long before we got our first EVP. EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomenon. We use small recorders set in areas of recent activity. The recorder was set in the kitchen next to a small utility room, where I later on hear voices and feel static electricity in the air. This sounds like a male voice. Could this be Lyric's father trying to communicate? I know it was not me saying it, and I am the only male in the house. After about 4 minutes, we get another EVP, and it sounds like the same voice. It is as if whoever it is trying to join in our conversations. We have had this very thing happen several other times.
Alright, you ready? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, not cancer. Yeah, I've been getting like that. I love you. So, like, did y'all, like, have no place in everything last night? It was quiet, and I'm like that.
Amanda gets up in order to rejoin us back in the living room. You can hear her close the bedroom door before entering the screen left. Then, much to our surprise,
I just closed the door. When I walked out of the room, and it opened back up. Okay, you do that? Maybe it's hard to do that. It's probably the cord.
well, hold on, just
But it opened all the way up.
hold on.
So you didn't turn it hard, you didn't turn it hard, it was. Yeah, I didn't go like that. Yeah, that's what it was then. Yeah,
As you can see from the empty room's camera, Amanda did not close the door all the way, and it slowly swung open on its own, banging against the wall. Debunked, yes, but nothing gets your heart pumping like a door slamming on its own.
I just closed the door.
We may have debunked the door slam, but after reviewing the footage, there was an interesting light anomaly that appears to manifest from the other side of the couch, then make a beeline straight for Ashlyn. Once it reaches her, it looks to disappear because it's behind her, but then suddenly reappears only to shoot off straight up. It also appears once this anomaly hit her, she stopped dead in her tracks and returned back to where she started from. I am debunking this as not being dust because it manifests across the room from the camera, from behind an object, and also changes directions on its own. This will not be the only time we catch anomalies in the living room. Not only that, but from behind this couch in relatively the same location. I will also go as far as to say we catch an orb or spirit on camera showing intelligent movement. After getting all the equipment set up, I finally am able to try and get some answers. I'm also drawn to the empty room where Lyric stated earlier that this room stays cool.
It's way cooler than my room.
It is believed that spirits draw energy from their surroundings and use the energy to try and communicate. As I am thanking the spirits for possibly trying to communicate, I feel a cold spot right next to me. These experiences are some of my favorite type. It goes from thinking they are there to actually feeling that they are there.
So I want to first of all say thank you for that.
As I start to feel the cold, I'm having a hard time getting my words out.
Trying to communicate. That is a cold breeze right in my hand.
You can see a flash right next to me, and I have to stop and check it out. It is a great feeling to catch something on video to collaborate what I am feeling.
What is that vent? Okay, that vent is not on. There's nothing blowing out of that vent. So, I think there's voice down there. That recorder does not play very loud when I'm trying to listen back to it, so please talk like as loud as you can into that recorder. And it's right there in the middle of the floor, that red light. I don't think Lyric is watching now, so it would be a good time to move that door right there, because I don't think she's watching. If somebody was able to move that picture off the wall, they can move that door right there.
As I continue to try to get undeniable evidence, such as a door being moved, I feel something on my left arm again. You can see the same flash from earlier, leaving me and shooting across the room. I understand that these anomalies can be dust reflecting off the camera's light, so I'm only pointing out interesting coincidences, and I am not stating that this is a spirit. You make that decision for yourself. We don't have the answers, and I'm not going to write everything off as nothing.
I know, okay. Lyric doesn't want that. Lyric, it would probably scare, so I'm sorry for asking you to do that. That's good that you didn't do it, that means you care though.
This is a very interesting chain of events. After I consistently try to get the door to move, I seem to get the answer as to why it is not being moved. Then suddenly a light anomaly appears to either manifest right in front of my face or comes out of my mouth. Notice how at first it is not moving. You can tell this by the fact that it is not leaving streaks behind it. Then it shoots off away from my face and is gone. Was this Kane or Casey actually communicating with me?
Does that mean you love her? Am I getting too mushy now? I should talk about playing more jokes. Mom, sitting right here, knock my hand off my head. That would probably scare the shit out of me. But it would be f***ing cool. I feel like you want to do it so bad too. Yell in my ear. Yell in my ear. There was a noise over in that corner over there. Yell in my ear. Seriously, Lyric just wants to get 100% certainty what's going on, just to make her feel safe. And if you could just say your name so we know for sure and help her, please say them really loud in that recorder right there in the middle of the floor. It's not like I don't know you can't just come down here anytime you want, pop in, pop out, and do anything. Kind of lightened up in here a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna put the recorder in the other room for a little while.
As we continue our investigation, I decide to do an experiment with our cell phones. With Kane being so young at the time of his death, he would be very comfortable with this type of communication. So I place my cell phone by the recorder and call it from the living room, with hopes that these electronics would aid us in collecting evidence.
Alright, we're gonna set this phone right over here by the recorder, and then if you have anything to say, come over here to the phone and talk to us. Hey.
It didn't take very long before we get a voice telling us that they are coming, as the light anomaly manifests by the phone, then appears to fly away from the phone, heading toward the living room. We continue asking questions through the phone. We think we hear laughter on the phone, but don't pick it up on the recorder. So I figured it would be a good time to tell a joke to see if we can get more laughter. And something truly amazing happens. Watch closely by the phone. You will see an anomaly moving slowly by the recorder and the phone. And amazingly, we get voices on the recorder.
Alright, a ghost, a spirit, and a priest walk into a bar. And the ghost orders a drink. No, I was making it up. Help. What do you think? Here.
Here's a split screen showing all of us, and you can see it's not us speaking, and the footsteps are not Paige's. Now normally we have to slow the video down to see what happened, but this time I will have to speed it up so we can see the path of the anomaly as it hovers toward and over the recorder and phone while speaking to us. And now what I'm about to share with you is what I believe to be the best visual evidence we captured, and proves what Lyric is feeling is not in her head when she feels the presence of someone or something in her home. We are continuing our research and are planning for our approach to help her. This is why you set up as many cameras as possible and review all evidence. We were not conducting any experiments when this orb decided to show itself. We did not see it with our own eyes, but the camera's infrared light did. Our eyes only see a small portion of the light spectrum, which does not include infrared light. We do sometimes catch things out of the corner of our eyes, but I believe the majority of light these phenomena either reflect or generate is in the light spectrum we cannot see. Look just over my left shoulder and watch what this orb does. What is so convincing about this is the orb manifests on the other side of me, about 10 feet away from the camera, heads towards the Christmas tree and actually behind one of the limbs, proving it is on the other side of the room, then heads down right above our DVR as if it wants to be recorded, and amazingly does 2 to 3 circles above it and then flies off and fades away. This shows direction and intelligence. Is this Kane saying hi? Now in slow motion. Notice how it seems to be flashing and generating its own light. The last bit of evidence I'm going to share also shows intelligence and intent. As the investigation was coming to an end, I was speaking with Lyric and about to head out the front door for a break. It seems there was something hiding next to the couch. It started to come out, but for some reason changed its mind, stopping and returning back to where it was. What was its intentions? Is this what there is to be scared about?